welcome everybody to the October meeting of the Planning Commission for the Village of Southampton. Thank you everybody to be here. We have tonight, unfortunately, we do not have a quorum, so we'll just go through. It'll be like a short agenda, but we'll go through all the items. So first item is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
So you have to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So we're going to do the roll call now. So Pamela Gill-Martin, unfortunately she could not make it tonight. Laura Devine, not here. Christian Picot could not make it either. Michelangelo is, I think, out sick. Bob Essay.
Here.
Bob Essay is here. Michael Anderson.
Here.
Okay, myself, Mark Schiffer. And Summer Stanley is no longer with the board. We wish her well in her studies. So for the review of and approval of the previous minutes, we will postpone the approval of the September meeting to next month at the request of at Jolie's request. I don't think there's any problem to do it, and we don't have anyway a quorum to approve them, so that's perfectly fine. On the next item on the agenda was the Sewer and Wastewater Committee, but I think that we'll postpone it to the November meeting when hopefully Paul Travis can update the Commission on the progress on the sewer project for the village. The next item on the agenda it's to an update by Alex, or we can also go through. I'm just going to go through a few items, and then maybe if Alex wants to jump in, he's welcome. Alex has joined us with on Zoom. So the village. The Southampton Comprehensive Plan, here I have it here, was adopted on September 20th recently, so I urge everybody to get more familiar with it, and hopefully we will implement it properly, and now we have Alex, who will certainly was very much instrumental in developing the plan, who will help us make sure that it's that they abide by it. We have a few public hearings coming up that I would like to encourage everybody to participate. One of them on October 13th, we're going to have a public hearing on the new tree regulation. It's unfortunate that Christian Picot is not here tonight and Laura Devine, because they both worked very hard on developing the new regulations. So it should be adopted. There'll be a public hearing on October 13th to be adopted in November, and if all goes well, we will then become a Tree USA town or village, and participate in this great program. On October 13th, we have also another public hearing that's about the speed limits within the village, to reduce the speed limits to 25 miles per hour on the village streets, and only allow 30 miles per hour on the main arteries. There will also be on October 13th a public hearing about the to create a stop sign on David White's Lane at Powell Avenue, as well as a public hearing on the no left turn on Hill Street from Captain's Neck and Lee Avenue. So hopefully, if this regulation passes by, we'll see a little bit more police on Hill Street, and it should help the traffic going.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, sure.
Somerset is working fine, Lee Avenue is working fine, and Bishop's Lane but North Bishop's Lane is where they're pouring out now.
Oh.
They just moved further into the village.
Right. Actually, as part of that public hearing, there will be also proposal to have no commercial traffic on McGee Street during certain hours. So, we are definitely trying to deal with this the traffic problem. I myself have spoken to. I participated at a county meeting about mobility and transportation, and there was a gentleman there who has created an app for to provide to promote and encourage people to ride share, and there is a thought maybe to adapt the app to the construction industry, and maybe promote the ride sharing within the construction industry and tie it to the permit.
Just to add to it, this is something I've had in my back of my mind. If at the railway stations, they could have a secure area where tradesmen can park their trucks and know they will not get vandalized or stolen, then they could jump on the train, take the train, get on the trucks, drive 2 miles to the job.
Yes.
If this, if they could figure out a way of putting that into a safe area for these construction, so you eliminate a lot of these tradesmen coming out here.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very, very good idea. And the idea is to try to also have the advantage is that in the construction site, they all start at the same time and they all leave at the same time and they're all going in the same place. And these are normally the impediments of ride sharing. But if everybody who's on a construction site through an app could download or could connect all the workers, whether the painters, plumbers, HVAC contractors, everybody else, who then maybe they live near each other, or maybe they can meet at some point and then drive together to the construction site.
The other question I was wondering, what's the feasibility of extending Sunrise Highway? Because Governor Carey in 1971 to extend Sunrise Highway from Shinnecock Hills to Amagansett. And it was a group that stopped that whole process from taking place.
Well, that certainly
And
it could be extended past the watermill. That's for sure.
yeah, but the amount of traffic, even if you put these steps in place, the traffic seems to keep growing. And as the town highway superintendent said in the paper, these roads weren't built to handle these traffic. And if you look back in history, these roads were built in 1920.
Right. Yeah. There are many ideas also on the, that have been presented. One of them was possibly to put arrows on the County Road 39 and have 3 lanes going one way going west in the evening and 3 lanes coming in the morning. The way they do it in New York City, let's say around the Midtown Tunnel, or where they actually shift the lanes. So that may help a little bit, even though there are also bottlenecks.
What's the feasibility of taking it? They've got 4 lanes up to Southampton, but extending 4 lanes from Southampton all the way and go through Watermill.
Yeah, but then you have a bridge there.
Yeah.
You have to widen the bridge.
Yeah.
Right. Also near Tuckahoe, suddenly it shrinks by Tuckahoe Lane. Suddenly the road, County Road 39 shrinks. There's another bottleneck there. So it's definitely something that needs to be done. We want to try to also really mainly deal with the traffic that goes through the village, where everybody's trying to go around County Road 39 and do it with the village. I think the mayor is on top of it. I think he has contacted everybody. We are, as I said, we contacted the county, so we'll hopefully something will be done about it. It's not an easy issue. There is not an easy remedy. It's,
Well, I'd like to commend the mayor and the board for tackling this issue. I know we've been discussing it for the past 2 years, about recommendations that we could possibly give to the board. And now finally, well, not even finally, they have taken great steps, I think,
Yes.
so far to at least alleviate some of the issues. And it's now on the forefront of their thinking, possibly changes being made to help
Right.
the residents.
but Personally, I think that one of the big issue is the lack of public transportation. The fact that there are so few trains.
Well,
The
I have
fact
to
that
tell you
there's-
about the train. I said this in previous meetings, but my wife works at the hospital, and they have the train coming into Southampton Village, and they have a bus going from the village to the hospital, and a lot of people, a lot of nurses that we know of are really taking advantage of that train and the shuttle bus, to the point where it's gotten to the point where people have to leave to get that train to get home.
Yes.
So if there's an overtime opportunity or something, they can only go until, I think the second train is 5:30 at night. They have
I
to
know.
be on that train. I think there's 2 trains, but people are starting to take advantage of that.
Yes.
Particularly employees at the hospital.
Right. Exactly.
So it's a good thing.
That's exactly right. That's a good thing. But still, there could be more trains.
Yes.
And then the bus system is also really pathetic. They really should have, the buses should be much more often.
Mhm.
They should have more stops. They should have, it's much more regular. And I really think it's up to the county to try to make an effort to, it's a county-wide issue. And
Yeah.
public transportation is that, to me, it's going to be the solution. People have to be able to take public transportation. Go to park their cars at a lot somewhere, and then take public transportation to come in. And if there is enough of it, people will do it.
Mhm.
People will do it. So these are good items and good work that we're doing. The other, is there anything else, Alex, that that I missed?
Just if you wanted to mention that the Reconnaissance survey for historical structures is underway. The consultants were in Southampton in the middle of September to do some in-person research and take photos. They digitized a lot of our records, and they're currently preparing their analysis.
Okay, yes, thank you very, very much. So this is a great endeavor, a great project to really try to preserve the historic fabric of our village. And I think that Alex actually spearheaded this effort to go to an RFP and requested and they hired a consultant. I think it's called Preservation. Sorry.
Preservation Studios.
Preservation Studios, and they are going to study and make recommendation to improve our regulations and concerning historical buildings. That's I think you've had a lot of experience with this at the ERB.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's really something that's so important, so we don't. Okay, thanks a lot, Alex. The other item that I wanted to maybe mention quickly is that we created a new task force on the Planning Commission and with Pamela Gilmartin and myself to review the election the election cycle and the term limits of the elected officials. In doing so, we asked 3 other representatives of the public to join us on that task force. And we have completed, the task force has now been formed. We have Susan Steinhardt as member of that task force, who is also on the ethics board. We have Walter Dean, who is very involved with the hospital area under its possible redevelopment. And we have also Robert Lohman, who is a long-time resident in the village, who has been here for over 35 years and was active, always been very active in the community. So we look forward to working with them and make recommendations maybe in the next few months. So talking about elections, we have our village election, although it's in it's on June 16th of next year. We have an election coming up this November, on November 8th, where we encourage everybody to come and vote at the school. And it's going to be actually just before our next Planning Commission meeting on November 3rd. So I will be inviting the town councilman Schiavone to talk to us about and enlighten us about the proposal that will be on the ballot on November 8th about the additional tax that will be imposed on the real estate transactions to be used for affordable housing. So it's an initiative that's spearheaded by the town. The funds will go into the town that will be managed by the town, and it will be very good to have some clarifications as to how we as the village will be able also to benefit from it. On what else is there? On October 25th, there is the Southampton Press has organized I think it's a luncheon or a meeting to talk about affordable living programs within the area, and we're encouraging everybody to participate and to you can get more information with the Southampton Press. Is there anything else that we should?
Well, you and we've spoken privately about this, and I was trying to think about creating a task force about the deer issue we have in the village. Now, I know you had said that the board, the commission actually tried to do something about it a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not privy to that. I wasn't here. I wasn't a member of the commission at that time.
I think that's a good.
But the issue, the deer problem has gotten worse and worse and worse. I think in the village, where I know on my street we see 4 or 5 deer just walking down the street. The damage that they're doing to the property and the vegetation, and also the disease that they carry. The ticks and the disease that they're carrying is not healthy.
Right. No, you're right that the deer population has been here for over 20 years, and it's never been. On John Street, you can see them. You're on Elm Street, on Woolley Street. I mean, it's like really.
We have them on Main Street too. They went to a dress shop one morning.
Right. No, it's. I know we keep bringing it up here and there. We talk about it, but nothing really ever gets done about it.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I think if you want maybe to spearhead the task force, and maybe we could structure it in the similar way that we did the other task force, whereby maybe we get a second member of the planning commission, then we get maybe another 2 or 3 members from the public who have knowledge and have our, care about this issue also.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. We did, a few years ago, the Planning Commission did address this in conjunction with the New York State DEC. They have a special department that deals with wildlife, and they had some programs about, hunting and the dates and when can you hunt it and so forth. And then they had also some programs, I think, that even to neuter them or something.
So nothing became of it a couple of years ago. I mean,
no, I think that it's time for us to go back to the DEC and try to push them into that program and find out more about.
I kind of remember that there was a program they had where the deer would either lick salt or eat something, and it would sterilize the deer or something like that. I could be wrong. But there was a program. I don't know if it was in East Hampton or where it was they were doing it, trying to get the deer population under control. As far as hunting in the village, that's out of the question. It's just too many houses, too many people. And you can only hunt with a bow and arrow. Right. And still, that's even dangerous in the village. It's just too close. And I have 5 or 6 deer in my yard. They've decimated my shrubbery in my yard. They can't plant anything in my yard. Flowers are gone.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's a very good idea. So maybe, Michael, if you could spearhead it, get another member, and maybe join. I think that's a great idea.
Now, do you know of anything that the town might be doing as far as?
Yeah, we should. I can give you the contacts at the town also.
Okay.
They have a special department on their parks department to or the conservation department about wildlife. Yeah, it's definitely an issue. Okay, well, at the next meeting, I also hope to be able to invite the Christmas committee that's going to brief us about the activities in the village. I also would like to also remind everybody that Oktoberfest, the village Oktoberfest, that was rescheduled, and it's rescheduled for this Saturday and Sunday. We should have a spectacular weather, so I'd like to invite and make sure everybody participates on those activities. I think Kathy Sweeney has done a great job in trying to promote it, and so we encourage everybody to participate. Anything else? No. In terms of the task force for real estate acquisition, we hopefully will have some updates at our next meeting in November. Otherwise,
No, that's all.
That's all? So if there's any comments from the public, right today I don't think so, but we're encouraging the public to participate, to come and get involved. The Planning Commission is a great venue, a great forum for everybody to come and bring their issues and ideas and suggestions. So please do come, and then I'd like just to make a quick motion to adjourn and schedule our next meeting on November 3rd at the same time.
Second.
Second?
Make a motion.